Hi everyone. Okay, now we've set up the electron microscope and we're ready to go ahead and do the X-ray spectroscopy. That is, we're going to look at the X-rays emitted by the surface of the sample when they're being bombarded by electrons from the electron beam. This is called EDS, electron dispersive spectroscopy. That's the way you're going to get the data that we'll use in this experiment. Hang on for a second. Okay, so this is the Inca system here. The Inca system can grab data from the electron microscope and control it for analysis. We're going to set up a project. We'll call it Modern Physics. Or how about Modern 2020? Ah. Ah. There we are. And then we'll go to Sample. And I'm just going to call this Test. And we'll go to the next step, Site of Interest. And when I hit the green circle here, it'll acquire an image from the electron microscope. At least I believe it will. Try that again. Okay, there might be an issue. Let me just check. 1 second. There we are. I had just turned the electron microscope off. Okay, now we have our image. And the next thing is to go to the Acquire Spectrum menu, pick a point on the sample, and then let it acquire the image. And there it goes. It's going to take data for 10 seconds right now. And you can see the energy spectrum of the X-rays showing up here. All right, well, it's done. Let's take a look here. Okay. What we see at the moment are two lines at relatively high energy, between 5 and 6 kilo electron volts, and then some other features at much lower energy. The two highest lines in any spectrum we look at are the K alpha and K beta lines. This is actually what we're interested in. The stuff down here are lower energy transitions, L lines or M lines, and we don't care about them for our lab. Here we can zoom in on this data. There we are. And then use the cursor here to locate the peaks and measure the energies. For this sample, this peak appears to be at 5.419 keV, and this one appears to be at about 5.953 keV. The data are a little rough. We could do a longer acquisition to get better signal to noise, but in fact, this is perfectly fine for our purposes. Then, and that's in fact all of the data that we need from this sample, okay? Furthermore, if we wanted, we could create a report now, which we could then print out. The report might look like this, and we can zoom in and adjust things. And then usually it's nice to convert it to a line drawing, and then we would print it out. And but there's no reason for us to do that right now. I just wanted to show you. So that's how the Inca system works. It's very straightforward, and it allows us to measure these K alpha and K beta emission lines for each of the elements that we look at. And that's all you need for today's experiment. All right, I think I'll stop the introduction now. So hang on, and we'll stop here.